Shalom, y'all. Well, thank you for having me. You have no idea how excited I am to be in Oklahoma, all the way from Jerusalem. This is where I live. Just behind this white tower is my house. So I grew up in the old city of Jerusalem. And I can't believe I am here in Oklahoma. Okay. Well, God has his reasons. So he created the war that, no, he didn't actually. So guys, first I am so happy and glad to see my cousins. We call them, they are cousins now. Those who were with me in the previous year in the Holy Land. My name is Markarios, born and raised in the old city of Jerusalem. I am married and I have 2 kids. I tried to put their picture. And they are back home. They are in Jerusalem today. Here is my family. I tried to make it big, but I don't know how to do that. Oh, not this one. Oh. Okay, it seems like we have to close one of the other. So, did it come close? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, maybe we can just put them. Or maybe you have to take it. Okay, so I was saying I was married and my wife was my neighbor for so many years, and Jesus said, love your neighbor. So I married my neighbor, so I am following the Bible literally. And I have 2 beautiful kids. Maria, she is 10, and Michael, he is 8. And both my wife and my kid, they are back in Jerusalem. I couldn't bring them here because I'm traveling a lot, you know, between the states. So it's not easy to take them out of the schools and so on. So guys, before I will start, no, it's okay. Before I will start, let's do the movie things. One moment. This one? No, not this one. Yeah, that's why I will open it. I am going to show you, sorry for that, we were just preparing everything, but just want to show you the family picture, and now they are on the other side of the world. You got their guy there. Okay. That's him. Well, he helped me actually. Yeah. So let's see if here's the movie. Okay. Let's see if you see. That's what I tried to tell you. Like, well, we are going to see a 3 minutes video about the Holy Land, Galilee, Capernaum, Sea of Galilee, the Via Dolorosa, Mount of Olives, and in this video I put actually the way how Jesus started. You know, the Annunciation in Nazareth, then the birth in Bethlehem, all the way, you know, to the resurrection. So those who were, how many of you have been in Israel? Oh, I know some of you with me, but you've been on other trips. Well, today you are going to see a hint about Israel. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, so let's have 3 minutes to see the Holy Land. Okay, well, that was just, little glimpse actually to that we saw it. So, guys, before we start, I would like to show you. Okay, I don't know if it's coming. Okay. Yeah. That's what well, I might also use the other one. Just give me a minute. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Holy Land and the geography of the land, and then so you can understand. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to summarize for you like 5,000 years of history in 10 minutes. Okay. Just from the time of Abraham, more or less to the time of Jesus. But before we talked about the Holy Land, and before we talked about the Christians of Israel and what is going on nowadays, and how the Christians are surviving, and how the war affects actually the Christians more than anyone in Israel, and especially in Jerusalem, I would like to give you just an introduction, to the geography and to the location of the Holy Land. Now, the Holy Land here, you can see it as a bridge between Africa. Here we have Egypt, here we have Europe on the top, and here we have Asia, and here we have the Mediterranean. So in the old days, if you live in Iraq, which is here somewhere, next to Earth, this is where Abraham was born. If you want to come actually to the other side of the world, to Egypt or to Africa or to Morocco, or if you want to go from Alexandria all the way up to Europe, to, for example, to Turkey, to Syria, or if you are coming from Turkey and Syria, you want to go down to the Red Sea, you have no choice, only to pass the Holy Land or the Promised Land. It was known as the land of Canaan. In the Bible, we know the first time we heard about this land, it was known as the land of Canaan. Why is that? Because we had these people, they were known as the Canaanites. Actually, we believe that they were also maybe the sons of Canaan. Remember Sam, Canaan, and Ham? Okay, maybe they were part of that, but we believe that they were shepherds, that they lived all around the Middle East, and they were traveling from one place to another, looking for good place for their sheep, water, and good fertile area, till they found actually, till they found the land of Israel, where they could realize that there is no need actually to keep going and to keep searching, because this is a best place. It has a lot of fields, perfect weather, not that hot in summer, not that cold in winter, and there is like a couple of rivers, lakes, and so on. So they decided to settle there, and they were known as the Canaanite. So when God told Abraham that I'm going to show you a land, and this land will be for you and for your sons and for your grandsons, he was talking about the Holy Land, and especially Jerusalem. God picked Abraham for a reason. God knew that from the blood of Abraham, David, King David will come, and from the blood of King David, the Messiah will come. So God had plans, you know, since the first day he created the world. That's why we always say God laughs when we put our plans, because he has a better plans. I never thought I would be in Oklahoma. So God actually brought me here. And I would love actually to thank my brother and pastor is not here, Brian, and his lovely wife is here now, and they and all the team that they worked for that, and they made it happen. So we just talked on the emails and on the messengers, and when he realized that I am speaking in a couple of churches, he says, Sam, come, I want you to come to my church. I want you to see my people. So this is how I finish actually here in this beautiful place. Thank you again for having me here. But I was saying that God has even a better plan for me and for Brian and for any of us, because he knows exactly what he wants from our life. And it's beautiful actually sometimes if God give you a hint, you know, sometimes what he wants from you. Okay, I'm very glad. I am very glad and very blessed, to be honest, that God told me in a way what he wanted from me. So I knew long time what God wanted from me. Okay, and I will come to this point when we talked about Jerusalem. But guys, this is a very important thing you have to know, that the location of the Holy Land, it was a bridge between all the continentals. No one could come from Ur all the way to Jerusalem by the desert. There is no way. No one did it. Well, nowadays we have airplanes and so on, but in the old days, no one will be able to do it because of the dry desert, the Arabian desert. So the only way is to pass from here. So that's why the Babylonians, the Syrians, the Persians, the Romans, everyone was going to control this piece of land so he can control all the junctions in the world. And believe it or not only I am talking that Israel is so important in the old days, nowadays, look what is happening in Israel. Maybe those who are maybe in the 60s or in the 70s, they can remember when they were little kids, they were hearing, I know, the news about Israel and Palestinians and Jordanians. We used to have all these wars, you know, in 1948, 1967, the 6 Days War. Why? Because of the location. Because also of the location. I mean, Israel has an access to the sea, has an access actually to the land, has an access up to the Europe, down to Egypt. It's in the center, and it's not like that by chance that God sent His Son to Jerusalem. If you open the map of the world today, and you put it in front of you, where is the center of the map? Well, Israel. That's why the Middle East, in the middle of everything. You have, America, the two continentals, North and South. You have Europe, you have Australia, you have Asia, you have Africa. What is in the middle of the map? Israel, Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is the center of Israel. is the center of the Holy Land. And what is the center of Jerusalem? The empty tomb. So Jesus raised from the center of the center of the center of the Word. So it wasn't happen like that. He raised from the heart of the Word, from the center. That's why God sent His only Son, not to Oklahoma, sorry, okay, okay, or not to Texas. He sent Him to Jerusalem, where it was in the center of the Word. From here, the church started. From Jerusalem, the church started. It was started, with the resurrection of our Lord, and then with the day that the Pentecost, at the day of the Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit came up upon the disciples in tongues of fire. They were in the upper room. There, actually, was the first church, house church, in history. The first time we heard about a church, physically a church, it was in the Last Supper. But the name church, the first time we heard it, it was in Matthew 16. In Matthew 16, when Jesus said to Peter, "You are the rock, and on my rock I will build my church." That was the first time we heard something called a church. Okay, so the expression church, it was mentioned in Matthew 16 when God said to Peter, "On faith like you, Peter, on people like they have faith like you, I want to build my church." So, and here we go. So guys, this is just a little explanation about, the center and the importance of Israel. And here we have actually like a zoom of the Holy Land right now. I'll show you the Holy Land in between the continentals. And now here we are looking at the Exodus, at when actually Moses took the Jews out of Egypt, and they lost, for 40 days. But here we can see actually that this is when Joshua, after the death of Moses, on Mount Nebo. Here is Mount Nebo. You can see Mount Nebo. This is Mount Nebo where Moses died. So Joshua saw the promised land, and Moses saw the promised land, but God told Moses, "You are not going to enter the promised land. You are going to see the promised land." I don't know if you have been on Mount Nebo, but from Mount Nebo you can see actually the mountains of Jerusalem. Oh yeah, you can see from Mount Nebo the mountains of Jerusalem. So Moses saw that. I don't know if he saw that. He was an old guy. I don't know if he had good eyes, but but he could see at least the other side very clear of the Dead Sea. And then Joshua took took down the people, and they crossed actually the Jordan River, which is here. Where they say Jericho. And they put actually 12 stones, and then they crossed actually the river, and that was the first time the Israelites, pay attention, the Israelites entered the promised land. We are going to talk about Israel today as a state and Israelite as a nation. So many people get confused, with all my respect. So many people get confused between Israel today and Israelites in the old days. Big difference. Nothing to do with the Israel today, only the name. Oh yeah, only the name. Israel is a country. Today, Israel is a country, not a nation. Jews is a religion. Israelites, they were known as Israelites because who was the first, actually, who was the first guy that was called Israel? Jacob. And all the, one moment. Yeah, Jacob. Jacob was the first to be called Israel. And then everyone else was called Israelite because of the grandfather Jacob. So when Joshua, I have to go back actually to the previous one. When Joshua entered the promised land, he entered from Jericho, from the Jordan River, as a nation. They were all together. They were tribes, 12 tribes, with their families, with their grandsons, with everyone else, and they entered the area here. Very interesting that after 1,000 years after Joshua, Jesus came to the same spot where John the Baptist was baptizing, the Jews at that time, same place where Joshua crossed the river, Jesus came and was baptized actually in the same river. But this time, not heaven was split. Sorry, not this time, not the river was split, but heaven was split. And a voice came down saying, "This is my beloved Son." And that was the first time we heard the expression, the Lamb of God. Remember what John the Baptist, when he saw Jesus, he said, "Behold, here is the Lamb of God who will take away the sins of the world." The Lamb of God. Christmas is on doors. In the old days, that the only lamp used to be sacrificed in the temple. I am not talking about as the Jews, as families, they will bring their sacrifices from Galilee, or they will bring their sacrifices, from Judea. No. I am talking about the lamb that will be given to the high priest. So the high priest will sacrifice this lamb for the sins of the Jews, and that lamb used to come from a farm that was in Bethlehem. And it was in Genesis 35. You can find it's called Migdal Eder, the Tower of the Sheep. Okay, Genesis 35 talks about Migdal Eder, and there is a book in the Jewish life called Talmud. Talmud is the oral law. The Old Testament is the written law for the Jewish people, but we have another book that they are following it, and they are following the rules there, and it's called Talmud from Lumaid. And that is a book that till today, the Jews has to follow what is written there in that book. How to celebrate their holidays, how to celebrate their things. Of course, the Old Testament, it has a big list, like a menu, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do, what not to do. But the Talmud is telling us that the high priest will receive the lamb that will be sacrificed for the sins of the Jews from Bethlehem. And what they used to do with that lamb, the Jews, when it will be born, they used to wrap that lamb with cloth, with swaddling cloth or with cloth, so the lamb will not break his bones. Like little lamb, if he will be pushed, then he will break his bones, or he will be wounded. He will not be accepted, in where? In the temple. It should be a perfect lamb. That's why they wrap the lamb for 2-3 days, and they move the lamb to second floor, and when the lamb is ready, they will take it and they will give it to the high priest. The high priest at 9 in the morning, pay attention, everything happened in the Bible not for nothing. At 9 in the morning, he will start to prepare the sacrifice. What time they prepare the cross for Jesus? 9 in the morning. 3 o'clock, there will be the sacrifice. The blood will come out. What time Jesus died on the cross? 3 o'clock afternoon. They came to break his bones. And the prophecies say not even one bone should be broken. He was the perfect lamb. And that was the sign that the angel told the shepherd, "This is a sign for you. When you go up to Bethlehem, you will find the baby wrapped in swaddling cloth." Why all these details? Why the angels are telling the shepherd all these details? To just give them a hint that the boy that you are going to see is not just an ordinary or just a normal boy. It's extraordinary boy. It's something big happening there. And who called him the Lamb of God? John the Baptist. Who was the father of John? Zechariah. Zechariah what Zechariah was doing? He was a priest. And he used to take actually John to the temple. Priests will teach actually their sons to be priests and so on. That's how the Talmud, again, this law, this book, the rules, Talmud. That's why, how many rules there are in this book, Talmud? Any idea? 613. 613. If you take a pomegranate, open it, you will have 613 seeds in it. That's why if you go to Jewish synagogues or to Jewish houses, you see a lot of pomegranates sometimes, and you will be wondering why Jews love the pomegranates, because it reminds them with the seeds, the number of the seeds in the pomegranates, that remind them with the laws in that book, 613 rules and laws they have to follow. Well, and that was the time when John the Baptist, when he was with his father, he realized that this is not the lamp we are looking for. The real lamp is not coming yet. So when Jesus came to the Jordan River, where Joshua crossed the river with the Ark of Covenant, the new Ark of Covenant was standing in the middle of the water, and heaven was split, not the river this time. And a voice came saying, "This is my beloved Son." So guys, we talked about the Israelites as a nation. When we started to hear the expression Jews, when was the first time we started to call the Israelites as a nation Jews? Never you see in the Bible Jews in the old days at the time of Joshua. There is no Jews at the time of Joshua or the tribe. Jews started when? Jews comes from the word Judea or Yahudiya in Hebrew. Yahudiya is Judah, is the tribe of Judah, one of the 12 sons of Jacob, you know. And when they divided, when they divided the land, this is Judah. This is Judah. This is the tribe of Judah. Okay, and then one time the land was divided between the kingdom at the time of King Solomon. It was divided between Israel in the north and Judah in the south, if you remember. And what happened is, after they came from the exile, when they came back to Babylonia, from Babylon, they came to Yehudah. So they started to call them Yahud, which means Jews in Hebrew. And that was the first time the Jews started to live under like a religion, official religion. So Jews now is a religion. So we talked about, the Israelites, and Judaism is a religion. So when I say I am from Israel, doesn't mean I am a Jew. I am not a Jew. I am not even a converted Jew. I am a Christian, and my family goes back to 800 years at least as Christians. We have our record, our files in the churches. In the old days, they didn't have computers. So if my grandfather was married there, he will have his name. Actually, then if he want to baptize his son, he will have his name. So we know who was the priest who baptized this young boy who later was married. His wife her name is XX or Y, and she is from where, and all the details. I originally came from Egypt, from the Coptic church, and our papers goes back at least to the Crusader time. This is how I know that my family, they were real Christians, before even the Arabs. Now, people believe that if we speak Arabic, that we are Arabs. We are not Arabs. We are Jews converted to Christianity at the time of Jesus, when we started to follow Christ. So those Jews who followed Jesus, they were known as Christ or Christians because of Christ. And later, slowly, with the help of Constantine, we became officially Christians. But our roots, they are Jewish. Oh yes, Jesus was a Jew. Peter was a Jew. Andrew, Lazarus, Martha, Mary of Magdala, all of them, they were Jews. But they left Judaism and they followed the right Messiah, the right God, the living God. And that's what Jesus said, that if you follow me, you will be with me in my kingdom. He said it many times in many ways. You are the chosen one. So Judaism doesn't make you like a citizenship. So you are American, but you are American by passport. So doesn't mean that you are a Christian. We have American Jews in New York. We have a lot of American Jews. We have American Muslims. In Michigan, we have a big Arab community, and they are all Muslims, Arabs. And we have also Christian American. So American doesn't make you a Christian. So when I say I am from Israel, people think I am a Jew immediately. And if I say I'm from Palestine, they would think I am a Muslim. Sad to say, no one think about us Christians. We are only 1% in the Holy Land. So Christians in Jerusalem, I just give you like little idea. The Christians in Jerusalem, they were 25,000 out of 165,000 in 1948 when the state of Israel was born. It was a good number in a way, 25,000 from 165 was about 15%. Well, we know that the Christians left a long time ago because of wars, but some of them stayed. And in 1967, after the 6 Days War, the Christians went back to 5%. Why? Because we Christians, we don't know how to fight. Well, I will put it in this way. We know how to fight. We know how to kill. We know how to do a murder. But God told us and taught us not to do so. And that's why we are different from any other one. That's why we don't believe in blood. We don't believe in violence. We don't believe that I have to revenge. This is what Jesus said to Peter in the Garden of Gethsemane when he took his knife and he told, and Peter took his knife and cut one of the ears of the servant. What Jesus told him, Peter, put the sword back to your pocket, because whatever comes by sword, it will end by sword. Let me tell you something. What is going on in Israel? 1 year. 1 year of this bloody shed war. 45,000 Palestinians died. More than 2,500 Israeli soldiers and women and children died in this terrorist attack that these terrorist Hamas did. And what we got at the end? Nothing. Did the hostages are back to their houses? No. Did Hamas is out of Gaza? No. What is going on? Blood, 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 killing, bombing. In Lebanon, south of Lebanon, started another war. You have no idea how I saw Jerusalem before I came. I lived all my life in Jerusalem. I grew up, playing actually with my Jewish friends, with my Muslim friends. I grew up in the old city. We used to hang out, between these 2,000 stones, pillar stones, and jumping on the walls. We didn't have, soccer fields like you have, and baseball, and all these, like beautiful field that I saw on my way from Dallas. I drove from Dallas today. It was so beautiful. I said, how come you don't have checkpoints? Where is the checkpoint? I was looking like, hey, why no one stopped me here? It's weird for us to drive more than an hour without checkpoints. So I felt like, wow, how beautiful. Because we grew up, in very narrow streets. We used to play hide and seek, and we used to go to the Holy Sepulchre, and we used to hide behind the altar in the tomb sometimes. Just behind the Jesus tomb, there's another tomb. We used to go inside there. Oh yeah, this is where we used to hang out. And we used to be like one big family. When I left Jerusalem, I never saw Jerusalem so sad. I lived all my life. I am 49 years and I lived all my life in Jerusalem. I never saw Jerusalem so sad like this. I always tell people about Jesus wept over Jerusalem. Luke 19 and Matthew 23 talks about how many times Jesus said to Jerusalem, how many times I tried to gather your sons as a hen tried to gather her chicks under her wings. And he wept. Luke said when he approached the Mount of Olives, he wept over the city. I was reading a book, and I was surprised that the Greek word for weeping that was used in the Gospel of Luke was the same word that was used when Peter wept when he denied Jesus. Wept bitterly. The word Greek, the classic Greek, the old Greek word that used by Luke, kilio is to weep from the heart. We thought like Jesus only wept like that, or like some tears came out of his eyes. No, it was the same word that was used when Peter denied Jesus. And we know the English translation, it says he wept bitterly, Peter. So we believe that Jesus wept from his heart because he saw what is happening. He saw what is going on. He saw Jerusalem is going, and on his way to the cross, he saw the daughters of Zion, and he told them, don't cry on me, but cry on your kids. Remember the 8th station of the cross. And believe it or not, till today, the Jewish woman and the Palestinian mothers, both of them are weeping on their kids. Wow, Jesus said that 2,000 years. This is a proof. This is a proof that blood will not bring peace. Never, never in history you can see that the blood can bring peace. We don't want, today we were, Brian and Jennifer, they invited me actually for dinner, and we were talking about, if Israelis can go to Egypt because they have the peace agreement. I said, no, Jews, they don't go to Egypt. We do have peace agreement with Jordan. We do have peace agreement with the Egyptian since Sadat, since 1982, when they gave Sinai back, Israel to the Egyptian, they signed a peace agreement. But these are only on papers. We don't want peace on papers. Not even one Jew can go to Egypt. The borders are open, but he will be kidnapped or he will be killed if they hear him speaking Hebrew, in Jordan or in Egypt. We don't want a peace like that. We want a peace from the heart. And that's what we are talking about. Look what happened, for example, during the Roman Empire. Who could defeat the Roman Empire? The Roman Empire was the strongest empire in the world. No one could defeat the Roman Empire. You know how it comes to an end? You know how the Roman Empire came to an end? By faith. Constantine, one of the emperor, he walked up. I don't want to go in details. He said, I believe that Jesus is my Savior. That was the end of the Roman Empire. No swords, no battles, no blood, faith. You see, by faith, you can actually defeat your enemies. If you will kill your enemy by your sword, they will be back. Hamas will be coming back. Hezbollah will be coming back, if not today, in 10 days, in 10 years. If not in 10 years, in 20 years. They will be back because Hamas is an ideology. It's not a person. If you kill him, that is you end. If I kill a Christian, doesn't mean that I will put Christianity to an end. No, Christian is a religion. Islam is a religion. Judaism is a religion. You cannot take that from the mind of the people. Hamas is extremist group, fanatic group, terrorist group, that they want to kill the Jews and the Christians, by the way. Don't think like we are safe from Hamas. They will even kill us one day if they can. But we cannot stop them by sword because they will come back again. But if we can convince them and we can convert them and we can make peace in their heart, we put an end for Hamas. We put an end for Hezbollah. We put an end for our enemies. Because this is the way you can put an end for your enemy. Because if you will kill him, he will come back again. His son will come back. His grandson will come back and he will revenge. But if you put a peace in his heart, his son will grow up in love with his neighbor. And the Jews and the Arabs can live together. If they know about Christ, believe me, I always say, if only the Jews and the Arabs will accept Christ one day only in their life, we will have no wars, maybe in the world. I know the world is facing hard times. These are signs that Jesus talks about in the Bible. Nation against nation, brothers against brothers. And he said, be aware. John 19, he said, be aware. Don't people let you fool you. Be aware, because the Son of Man, the minute that God wants to put an end for this world, no one knows it. Even the angels and the Son doesn't know. Can you believe that? Even Jesus said, I am the Son, and I don't know the time my Father will put. Even the angels in heaven, they don't know the time. So you think we know the time? We are not better than Jesus. We are not going to know. Jesus said, even I don't know the time. Only my Father knows the time. So, but be aware. Jesus said, I will save you. I will protect you. And if you are not ready for Christ, believe me, it's time. It's not because of the last days, not because we are seeing signs, not because of anything, but it's always time to have Jesus in your heart. I read one time a beautiful article for Sister Teresa from Avila, from Spain. Not Mother Teresa, Sister Teresa. She was a Carmelite sister. And she said, I love how she explained our hearts. She said, like, our hearts are like fortress. It should be like a fortress, and the enemies are outside. They are seeking any weak point, any door open so they can go inside and they destroy our fortress. So if your heart is full of love, if your heart is full of faith, no chance for the devil, zero chance for the devil to go inside your life. I love how she explained our heart should be like fortresses, castles, built by what? By foundation, good foundation. Just, I mentioned to you, you are Petrus, you are the rock. And on this rock, I will build my church. On this rock, I will build my heart. So if your heart is built by rocks, by faith, no chance at all for the enemies to come and destroy your life, and not only your life, the life of your beloved ones. Because when you destroy your life, the whole family is destroyed. When the mother is destroyed, the whole family is destroyed. When the father is getting crazy and is getting, bad, everything else will collapse. So guys, we can continue talking about things, but this is 1967. We were talking about the Christians in Jerusalem, not in the Holy Land, in Jerusalem specifically. What is the percentage? Maybe already saw it. What is the percentage of the Christians? How many Christians? Jerusalem is the largest city in Israel. Is the capital of Israel. It has 1 million inhabitants. How many Christians you think they live in Jerusalem? 6,500. Yes, you are right. What you are seeing is true. This is a recent studies about how many Christians they live in Jerusalem. 6,500 out of million. Out of a million. We can fit in all one cruise ship. They can send us they can send us to the Caribbean or well, it's funny and sad. Really. Very sad. I am one of the 6,000. Now they are like -1 because I'm here. Well, guys, as I said, I left Jerusalem very sad. I don't want to make this night like little sad night, but it's true. I mean, like I am here to open your eyes. Things that you don't see in CNN or Fox News. You will never hear that details. Always Israel is protecting the Christians in a way, yes, with all my respect, but still, we have the Zionists. We talked about Hamas, how they want to kill us. We talked about they are terrorists, but let me tell you something, and this is true. We do have also fanatic Jews. We do have those Jews who are Zionists, that they want to kill the Christians. They said like you are following the fool actually, or the false Messiah. You deserve to die. You deserve to go out of this land. No, sir, I don't have to leave my land. This is where I belong. This is where you belong. This is your land as my land. This is where Jesus was born and he died for me. So I'm not going to leave this land because someone who came from Europe or who came actually from Africa or from Russia, just like maybe 70 years ago, and he's telling me that I lived all my life in Jerusalem and my grandfather lived all my life in Jerusalem, and he's telling me I have no right to live there. No, sir. I belong to Jerusalem. I belong to Christ. I promised my Lord to be his witness. Oh yeah, when I was, thank you. When I was studying tour guide, I shared that. When I was studying tour guide actually in Israel, I was wondering, this is what I want? Because I want to be a soccer player. I want to be a teacher. I want to be something else. So what happened is my father knows a teacher, a professor who is in Bethlehem University, and that teacher told my father, oh, there is a guiding course coming soon. What about Sam? Maybe he loves to, be a guide or something. And my father told me, my father loves history. He used to take us when we were kids, to Jericho, to Bethlehem, to Samaria, to, Caesarea, to Sea of Galilee. We used to spend even a week in Sea of Galilee. We used to, swim and have fun. So we grew up loving our land. And then I thought like, okay, I will go to be a guide. So if I like it, I like it. If not, at least I will know a little bit more about my land. And in one of the occasions, we were actually in the pool of Bethesda, where Jesus healed a paralyzed man. Let me see if I can put this. And the teacher was talking about. He was telling us about the miracle and how the water used to, change and so on. Here we go. This is my favorite place in Jerusalem. It doesn't look like so pretty, but this is actually where I was touched by the Lord. This is where the Lord talked to me. I was there with the students, and I live in the old city. It's only 2 blocks from my house. And the teacher explained everything about the water, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, like, you can go home. Since I lived in the Jerusalem, I said, I will stay for a while. And I sat somewhere in this stone, still there, by the way. This stone is like part of the real stones from the corners, actually, of the pool. This is the pool. This is the corner of the pool. And there was another pool on the top, one on the top of the other. And the water was running, actually, from one pool to another pool. And you know the story. I don't want to go in details about the story, how Jesus came to the sick man. But very interesting that always the sick people looking for Jesus. This is the first time that Jesus, by himself, coming to a sick man, waiting 38 years, someone to push him on the pool, and he just asked him, do you want to be made well? What a question. Imagine like I'm keeping you here for 3-4 hours, and then I will ask, anyone want to use the restroom? Oh, what a question, Sam. Of course we want to go home. Well, beautiful story. I was thinking about it. I was thinking like, wow, Jesus didn't ask him for money. He didn't tell him like, if I will let you walk, you can do this for me and that for me. Anyway, and I was thinking, what I am doing in the guiding course, is this is what I want? If this is what really I want to be a guide? Believe it or not, I heard it so well. And every time I share this story, as if the story happened only yesterday, I heard it so well, someone whispering in my ears, telling me, be my witness, telling me, be my witness. And physically, I looked like if there's someone here maybe talking to me or something, because I heard it so clear here, inside my heart, inside my mind, telling me, be my witness. And then I was freezed for a few minutes. And I said, God, is that what you want? Is that what you want from me? I am ready. I am your servant. You want that? I trust you, Lord. 27 years. Never I had any other job. This is the only thing I know, is to be witness to my Lord and to guide people. And I'm still loving it. I'm still missing it right now because it's been a year I didn't work. Okay, we didn't have any tourists in October 7, and we are not having any group coming for next year. Tough. To be honest, it's tough. This is the only income we know, is to share our faith and our story with our people. And now we don't see anyone. So you cannot come, I came to you, okay? So, guys, well, there's a lot, as I said, we can talk about. And not easy for us to have kind of a different life. You know, we are not back to our normal life. I was telling actually brother Brian that, well, I will go this here, but then maybe in 5 minutes I will do the map of the. How Christians survive in a place like that? Well, Jesus taught us so many times. He encouraged us, like, blessed are the peacemaker, and blessed are you if they persecute you because of my name. So he already told us it's not going to be easy to be a Christian. With all my respect, here in America, if you are a Christian or you are not a Christian, there's no problem. You have a cross, you go to Walmart, you go to Costco, Sam's. If someone saw you with a cross, they will not say anything. Normal. There, if you go to a Jewish store and they see the cross, they will give you that bad look, like, what you are doing here. You go to a Muslim store, like, hey, okay, well, just take your things and go. We are not welcome. I don't know why. We love them. We don't know how to hate them. But the question is, do they love us that the way we love them? That is the question I ask myself. Is my neighbor loves me the way I love him? But Jesus prepared us. He told us, blessed are you if they persecute you because of my name. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets before you. And now, here we go. If the Jews think that they are Abraham's seeds, if the Muslims think that they are Abraham's seeds, no. We, in Galatians 3:29, it say, and now that you belong to Christ, you are the true children of Abraham. And you are his heirs, and God's promise to Abraham belongs to you. We are the one. We are the chosen. As I said at the beginning of my lecture, God picked Abraham for a reason, till the coming of his son. That's it. That's it. There is another era now. After Jesus, we have another era. So, guys, I mean, like, what can we do? What can we do with these people? Here in 2nd of Corinthians, rejoice, aim to restoration, comfort one another, agree with one another, live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. This is how we teach our kids. This is how I teach Maria and Michael, my kids. This is how I teach actually my family. And this is how my father taught me. Live together, love each other, love your neighbor. So we tried so many times to put them together. I am telling you, if you don't have peace in your heart first, then you will never be able to give peace to someone else. You have first to have peace with the Lord, with Jesus, and in your heart, and then believe me, you will be able to have peace with anyone you want. I always say, remember this, make it happen, God will make it holy. Put your things on a table in front of God. Put all your problems, put all your ideas, put all your plans, and God will make it holy. Make it happen, but you have to work. Don't stay at home like, hey, God, I just need a new car. God, just give me a new house. God, like, where are you? I need to pass the exam. Study. You have to study. Not only God. Sometimes we have to listen, not to give. We have a long list to give sometimes, and to the pastor, hey, can you pray for my son? Can you pray? Just, you have sometimes to sit and to ask God what you want from me. And that's what I told you. God told me a long time ago, be my witness, Sam. Yes, God, I am your servant and I am your witness. Guys, this is about, this is my website, by the way, if someone like to, I'm working on it actually, and I'm making it more, with more details. But recently, like, I will give you like 5 minutes after all this we talked. Let me just give you like 5 minutes what is going on and what's happened there. Maybe these things you will never be able to see it actually in well, this is Gaza, and this is the border. The orange line is the border between Israel and Gaza, and here is the border between Egypt and Gaza. Israel has no control over this border. This piece from here to here, Israel has no control. Israel control from here all the way up. October 7, I was on my way to pick up 55 people from Seattle when I opened the news in the morning, and I heard like Hamas terrorists succeeded to go out of the siege, to go out of the Gaza, out of the border. And let me tell you, if you are a good runner, you can reach the first settlement. This is Gaza, this is Sderot. You can reach this settlement in less than 20 minutes or 25 minutes if you are a good runner. Look how close it is. So in 1 hour, hundreds of Hamas terrorists, they were in, they massacred all the people, they were on their way, and the people, the Jewish people, they were celebrating the tabernacle, the feast, and they were having a party. It was a Sabbath. You know, at the end of the Sabbath, you know, Saturday night, you know, Saturday morning, sorry. So, usually, you know, that is a feast. And then they saw these people just shooting them without asking them, without even telling them surrender. No, just they didn't ask anything. They started to shoot everyone. They kidnapped as much as they want. And the idea why Hamas did that, they thought, if we could kidnap a couple of Israelis, we can exchange them with our prisoners who are in the Israeli prison. And that was the idea of Hamas going out of Gaza to the Israeli side. And what happened is, I don't want to go in details, but there is a big question mark. Where were the soldiers at that day? What is happening? How come the Israeli couldn't see them? How come the soldiers came so late after maybe 3-4 hours? Where were they? So many questions. Netanyahu and his officers should answer these questions after the war. That's why people are waiting the war to finish so they can investigate actually what happened on October 7. The story is not finished. No. There's a big investigation is coming. Okay, there were cameras. There were cameras on the trees next to the settlements. There were cameras on the houses. All these cameras, now the ships, they saw like there were no soldiers, they were late, and so many things. Anyway, so the idea was maybe to kidnap a couple of them, Israelis, and then go back. But what happened, so many civilians followed the fighters, the terrorist Hamas fighter, so with their bikes, so the things were like going out of their hands. So not only Hamas, if you want to call them terrorist fighters, but the civilians, you know, the civilians followed them. They saw the borders open and they followed them, and everyone was killing any Jew with his knife, whatever. So it's not only Hamas, they were killing the Jews, even the civilians, they were killing the Jews. Israel, never in history of Israel, something happened like this. Why? All the wars, 1948, 1967, 1982, 1956, name it, all the time, Israel is fighting. This is Lebanon, this is Syria, this is Jordan, this is Egypt, this is Israel. Always Israel, they are fighting their enemies on the border, like now Hezbollah, on the border, like Golan Heights, on the border, like in 1967, on the border with Jordan, like Sinai, on the border. Never, the enemies, they were in the houses, they were killing the Jews in their houses. This is the first time in history of the state of Israel that the enemies could go inside the houses and kill the people in the houses. And that's why the Israelis gets so mad. How on earth actually these people succeeded actually to go inside our houses? They get crazy. Of course, they have all the right to react, but honestly also, they went beyond their limits. The Israelis, they got so mad and they bombed every... You know the size of Gaza? Let me tell you. From here to here is 16 miles. From here to here is 6 miles. 16 miles by 6 miles. Do you have any town here 16 miles by 6 miles? Any town here, you know, in Oklahoma that has this size? 16 miles by 6 miles. Small area, maybe small. You know how many people they live here? 2 million. 2 million people, they live in 16 miles by 6 miles. Even the 6 miles is the width. This is maybe 4 miles. This is the 6 miles. So 2 million people, they live actually, you know, just in this small area. So you can imagine any bomb coming from any airplane, from F-16. You know how many people they will die? because they live close to each other. Like you open your door or you open window, you can shake hands with your neighbor. And Hamas, they are underground, they are behind the houses, so it was so tough to go inside. But the final thing I just want to tell you that, so imagine that place is 2 million people you are talking about. Yeah, but I am telling you, in general, Gaza considered to be the smallest area in the world with high populated in the world. Anyway, what I want to say finally, that the negotiation fails. This is my last thing. I am going to open like little questions. No one succeeded to do what he wanted to do. The Hamas couldn't take their prisoners out. Israel couldn't bring their hostages back. Things are getting complicated. It's not a country against a country. It's like gangs, like these mafia guys, like you are fighting like individuals, sometimes groups, sometimes one guy. And the thing is, what makes the negotiation freeze is this line. Now, the Israeli soldiers, they could enter with their tanks and control the border between Egypt and Gaza, okay? And the Hamas says that we are not going to do any deal unless if Benjamin take his tanks out. And Benjamin says, no way that I will leave this line open, because all the tunnels, all the weapons, all the money, everything goes under these tunnels. So there are tunnels between Egypt and Gaza, okay? So everything comes from here. And the Israeli found so many tunnels, so many things here. And Hamas said that we need this line to be controlled by the Egyptian and by us. So Netanyahu said, no way, I'm not going to leave this. It's called Philadelphia, like the state of Philadelphia, Philadelphia Center. Until now, well, they succeeded to kill the leader of Hamas, Sinwar, a couple of weeks. So we might see like a light at the end of the tunnel soon. So guys, this is my story. This is, here's my brother, Brian is coming. Yeah, you can close it. Shalom, my friend. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed actually, this evening. I tried actually to give you as much as I could. Of course, when you come to the Holy Land, there is nothing like, to walk where Jesus walked and to touch these stones. And something also I didn't talk about is why the Christians are leaving, is because we Christians, we don't have, it's not required in the Bible, to go to the Holy Land. While the Muslims and the Jews, it's a must to go to Jerusalem to do sacrifices like at the time of Jesus. Every Jew should go to Jerusalem like now. So there's something, tell the Jews like, I have to go to Jerusalem. There's something, tell the Muslims, no, you have to go to the mosque in Jerusalem to complete your pilgrims. But for us as Christians, Jesus said you can pray everywhere. So that's why the Christians, when they started leaving, they said, okay, I can pray in America, I can pray in Canada. I don't have to go back. There's nothing require me to go back. But you have no idea how beautiful and how special is just to have a minute on the shore of the Sea of Galilee and looks actually at the water and the stones, and imagine Jesus is walking next to you and telling you, come, follow me. You can Google the history of Israel. You can Google everything I gave you, maps, border, Hamas, sizes, miles, but you will never be able to Google your feelings when you are there. I mean, like, when you touch a stone and you know that Jesus touched that stone. When you go to the empty tomb and you see it with your own eyes, it is empty. So you can go and say, I was there and I can confess he is risen. So guys, don't think twice. He is planning to do another trip in 2026 when the borders will be open. And we hope that will be open. Amen. If you have the money, don't worry the money, he will pay. If you, well, another trip, believe me, I met, I met Brian like a couple of years ago. I work with so many tour leaders, but the moment we started to work together, we had such what we call it, a chemistry or something, and we were like a good team. And I love this guy and his wife, beautiful. I mean, they are like good team. We had such an amazing trip. Those who were here, they could tell. So if you have the time, if you have the money, if you have the health, don't wait. Believe me, going to the Holy Land brings the Bible. You know, I showed you like some pictures. You know, it makes the Bible in colors. You know, in 3D. You will never be able to read the Bible again, like in the old days. So I encourage you, before I finish my night here, please, coming to the Holy Land, not only, this is a gift for you, is a gift for us. You are supporting us. You are making us, you know, staying there. When you sleep in our hotels, when you eat in our restaurants, when you actually hire us as guides, as bus drivers. And remember, this was the only income for us, as I said. So coming there, you are blessing us. And you are blessing yourself in a way that God bless you, sending you to the Holy Land. That doesn't belong to me. Remember, it doesn't only belong to me, it's belong to you. Show the people that this is our land. This is the Christian land. Can you imagine Jerusalem without Christianity? Christianity started in Jerusalem, and if everyone want to leave, can you imagine Jerusalem? The resurrection city is with no Christians. We are only 6,500. I showed you the map. I showed you that we are only 6,500. Okay, left actually from there. So thank you guys, and thank you for your thank you for having me. Thank you for coming. And as we said, like Christmas on doors, if you are looking for a nice gift for your friends, for your family, you don't want to go to the shopping mall and look for a parking and stay in the line. You know, here you get like something from Bethlehem where Jesus was born. You get an olive wood, you know, like beautiful pieces, ornaments, caves, crosses, prayer hands, anything. And that will be not only for me and for my family support, also for my community. I don't do that, but my Christians, my community, they do that. So that's why they ask me to do that if I can help them and sell them. Thank you so much, guys. It was such a blessing.
Hey, so before you go out and slide out and buy a few things from Sam, let me just say, this dude, going through Israel with him, I mean, it brought it to life. Like, that's why I call him my rabbi. And walking through it with him was so, so special. And I'm going to give you a second to ask any question you want. All right, so think. Do I have a question? Any Bible question you ever dreamed of asking, the most difficult question, ask it to Sam. All right? But while you think of that question, we will be able to support them and their family. They hadn't had tours there, and that is his income. And so him going on like a tour around the U.S. is really great. We want to support them and support what's happening in Israel. We should stand with Israel, and I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly, and so we should do that in our support of him. Okay, so with that said, before we pray over him and his family, questions. What question might you have? And I'll hand it back over to Sam. Anybody got just a question, something you've heard? Can you say it loud?
It's a good question. Well, the hand of the Lord is always there, first of all. We always believe the Lord is our shepherd. We shall not want. We cannot guarantee these sites to be saved. Just a couple of weeks ago, a lot of rockets launched on the Sea of Galilee. I don't know if some of you saw on the Sea of Galilee. So imagine if one of these rockets will fall on synagogue of Capernaum or in the Church of the Multiplication. We cannot know. I mean, over the Dome of the Rock, there were rockets, and they were like just over the Dome of the Rock. Imagine one of these rockets will fall on the Garden Tomb or in the churches. We cannot do anything to protect that. I mean, there is nothing like we can cover the holy sites, but we pray that nothing can happen, or not even one stone will fall again. Because Jesus promised that he will protect us and he will protect Jerusalem. He loved Jerusalem. We said that. And by me, I didn't say that. I was want to say that. I wanted to tell you thank you for your support as Americans. I know you are passing hard days also in America. We pray for you guys, for your presidents. I know that America, as someone who seeing America from outside, I know this has never happened in America, this big division. You know, like, but we pray for you to have a wise and a good president to put America back, you know, to its glory. And no matter, I know that you always support us. You know, you always support us, and God bless America. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody else want to ask? Come on, somebody's got a good question. You're just afraid to ask in front of a couple
Yeah.
of people.
A good question. You have, well, that's is a long question. It's a lot of history, but the first church decided to have Sunday, the resurrection day, to celebrate Sunday because Jesus raised on Sunday. And that's why we always remember Sunday as a resurrection day. So Jews, for example, they have the 7 number. The number 7 is the completion. We have 8, the Christians. What is the 8? The resurrection day. We added number 8. That's why all the churches in the old days, they were octagonal. If you go to Israel, you see like the Holy Sepulchre octagonal, Church of St. Peter octagonal, Church of Nazareth octagonal. Why is 8? Because 8 is the number of the resurrection of the Lord. So that's why when Christianity started and when the church started in Jerusalem, they decided to have Sunday is the beginning of the day or the end of the week or the beginning of our day off, you know? Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. Hi.
This is more on the tourist. I've never been to Israel.
Uh,
So my question is, I know a lot of the sites there, or at least I think I heard, are presumed to be the actual sites and where something
Yeah.
happened or a tomb. So my question is, what are some of the sites that are verified besides just like the map that you showed?
Mm.
And then if you were to go and could only see one thing, what would you suggest seeing?
Okay. One thing. Okay, your question is good. This is what I always say to my people when they come there. First of all, this is very important that when you go there, we are not there, you know, like to look where are the empty tombs or where the empty crosses. We are there to confess that he is risen. So the story is important, not the site. However, we do have sites where we are certain that Jesus was there or walked there, according to archaeologists, according to scholars, according to the Bible. Now we have tradition things that is not mentioned in the Bible. For example, like the Good Samaritan story, it happened somewhere there, or Mary went to Judean mountains to see her cousin Elizabeth, or the angel appeared to Mary somewhere in Nazareth. We don't know where. So the early Christians who lived there never left the land. So when Constantine declared Christianity to be a free religion, these people started to show his mother, Helen, when she came to build churches, they started to tell her, oh, this is like where Jesus did this, this is where, and she wrote she put mosaics with words on the floor, what's happened on every place. So we do have sites that they are proofs that they are the real place, and there are sites that are tradition. You know, we don't know, like somewhere in Canada there was a wedding. We don't know, you know, like, but the Bible says, for example, Jesus went down to the Garden of Gethsemane in the Mount of Olives. So we know exactly where is the location of that. Jesus entered Capernaum and went to the synagogue. So we know the town and we know where in the town, you see. But sometimes you say like, oh, Jesus did that on his way. Well, we don't know. So I mean, like if you go there and there is one place that I will take you is the Garden Tomb. Because there actually Christianity started. That weekend changed the world.
That's a good answer. I don't know how you answer that. Let's see. We got about 6 minutes. Anybody else? Another question? Ask.
Okay, that's a good question. Usually Christian pilgrims, usually they don't have a problem like the local people. Because they know that you are tourist, you are not local. Okay, so if you put a cross, and most of the tourists they come, they are Christians, they know that, and they don't deal with them badly because they love your money. Okay, so. Okay. Oh yeah, because you go and shop. So if you go to the shop, they will welcome you. I mean, not all the people are bad, but some Muslims are good, and some Jews are good, and some Christians are bad. So I mean, like not everyone, but in general, I mean, like to be there, just like clothes. You have to be modest clothes. We don't actually dress like here. In a way. I mean, like very very freely. There they have to go to churches, no shorts in churches, for example. Shoulders should be covered, no hats, no animals, dogs or something. So that's, you have to prepare. But don't worry, Brian will prepare you for the trip.
We will prepare you. All right, one last question. One last one? Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we do have some churches are very active. Unfortunately, and very sad to say, some of these churches are changed to museum or to offices or to police station or to museum. Oh yeah, we do have like the Last Supper room. We were there. Last Supper, can you imagine where Jesus had his Last Supper, where the church started? Today is like an open room and is guarded by the municipality of Jerusalem. It's not allowed for the Christians to celebrate masses. Saint Anne and the Ascension Chapel, the Ascension where Jesus was lifted up to heaven, is a mosque today. So we cannot even pray there as Christians. But we still have some local Christians in Bethlehem, in Jerusalem. They are very active, but not that much. You saw the number. We are very, very few. The good thing is, we Christians, we can pray everywhere. Doesn't mean like if you are a Baptist, you cannot go to Methodist, or if you are a Catholic, you cannot go to the Greek. You can pray any church next to you, because we are very, very small.